morning until we made sure that we could have Ireti Doyle live with us on the screen. Hello, good morning. Good to have you.
I'm fine. Good morning. How are you?
Very well,
Very
thank
well,
you.
thank you.
I'm here with
I'm
Dr.
here with Dr.
Precious, the
Precious,
young man that
the
has
young
been
man that
telling
has
you
been
he's
telling you
crushing
he's
so
crushing
much on
so much
you,
on you,
and
and
you can barely
you
hear
can
us,
barely
right?
hear us, right?
Can you
I
hear
can
me?
barely hear you.
Oh, you can
Oh,
barely
you can
hear
barely
me.
hear
Okay.
me. Okay.
Can you
Can you
hear
hear
us
us
now?
now?
Yeah, there's a bit of an echo, but I will manage.
But you could
But you
manage,
can
okay?
manage, okay?
It's good to
It's
have
good to
you
have
here.
you
This
here.
young man
This
has
young
been
man
crushing
has
on
been
you
crushing on
so
you
much,
so
and
much,
he said he was
and
going
he
to
said
tell
he was going to
everyone on
tell
the live
everyone on the live
TV how
TV
much
how
of a
much
screen
of a
goddess
screen goddess
you are.
you are. Dr. Precious, I leave this interview to you because I know that you got to go take goddess.
Okay,
On behalf of the Association of Young Men who are so much in love with you.
I'm not happy with this. Put that in your hard drive. Remember that down the line, and you pack it up and you're done with it. The scenes that I get rid, I than others. Some suck into you deeper than others, but character, so to speak. I don't know if it's something I can explain within a few minutes, but that's what an actor does. An actor becomes. You become a different person. You take on someone else's life. You take on someone else's experiences. You understand someone else's emotions, and you bring them to bear. Yeah.
But how do you drop the character then? Because when you leave one stage, you have so much embedded a lot of character, and in the process of trying to put yourself in the character's shoes. How then do you drop the character and go back to normal?
With experience over the years, it's gotten a whole lot easier. Some characters will cling to you longer than others. Some suck into you deeper than others. But I actually need to decompress, which essentially means a bit of time alone. Depending on how intensely I felt the emotion of the last several days or the character I've been asked to play over the last several days. Maybe just some solitude, myself in my room, listening to I have the things that I do when I want to unwind after a long day of shoot, or when I'm disengaging from a character I've played, and it's just simply being in my safe space being my home, and sometimes reading, sometimes listening to music, sometimes just sitting down and existing in my head. It's also a period where I mark my papers, because during that time when I'm done with the production and I'm trying to unwind, essentially what's going through my head most of the time is a playback of the scenes that was shot. So I'm playing back these scenes and I'm saying, oh, you could have done this better here. You could have gone deeper there. Oh, this was good. That was good. So it's like essentially you've done the exam. You've marked the papers. Tick, 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 tick. I'm happy with this. Fine. X, I'm not happy with this. Put that in your hard drive. Remember that down the line. And you pack it up and you're done with it. The scenes that I consciously get rid of, what's the word? Intentionally are scenes that have to do with grief, death, or dying. Once it's shot, it's done. In fact, I'm detaching immediately.
So you detach immediately so that it doesn't stay with you. But in the midst of all of this, yes, please go ahead.
I'm still Spotify. I'm still dazed. But I want to ask you this. You've been a legend on the screen for years. Now the question is this: what's your daily routine like?
Okay. Depending on my call time, I'm a principal cast member of a daily soap, Tinsel, and we essentially shoot. They're in production every day of the week, Monday to Friday. Now, the average lead, as a lead character, you're going to work on an average of anything from 3 to 4 days a week. If we're under a lot of pressure, you might have to go all 5 days a week. So depending on my call time, if for instance, like a regular call time will be 7 a.m. in the morning, I'm up by 4. I will have a cup of coffee. I will listen to music. I will pray. I will roam around my house, have a bath, and be ready and out by like 6:30. My set is like 10 minutes away from my house in either direction. We shoot on two different locations, which is about 10-15 minutes away from my home, either direction on a given day. So I get to set 6:30, 7, a little after 7. You have breakfast if you want to. By 7:30, you're in makeup. By 8:30, you're on the floor. And we can have anything from 3 scenes to 20 scenes a day, depending on the day. And you
That's a full-time job.
I beg your pardon?
That's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job. It's a 12-hour day job. Sometimes even longer when we need to sacrifice and doing the work. And that's for my day job. If I'm on a movie set, same thing applies. If I am being sequestered, which simply means that we're in camp, I would have packed my bags, packed all my creature comforts. I would go to camp, move in, set up shop, and whatever schedule is given to me at the place is what we abide by. Just generally getting the job done. When I'm not working, I'm usually in my home, hanging out with my kids, watching television, thinking of different kinds of concepts. I live in my head a lot. Reading. I have a few intimate friends I like to hang out with every now and again.
Few intimate friends.
Yes, they're all mature. They're all discreet. I'm free to be myself in their midst, and hang out with friends, take care of family, and just trying to be the best I can be within the given circumstances of our existence.
Wow. So basically, it looks as if you have, over the years, mastered the art of having a support system and a system itself that works for you.
Absolutely. Every working actor will tell you that they can't pull it off without a support system. I mean, somebody has to be here or be around you. If you have kids, for instance, you need someone that you trust enough to be with your kids and do the right thing while you're on set. Sometimes we're gone for days. I remember when I was an anchor on Today on STV at Silverbird, we would leave the house by 5. If we left the house later than 5:30, that was it. We would not make the 7 a.m. call time because we lived in Maryland and we needed to get to Lekki, Jakonde. You know where Silverbird is?
Yes, I do.
Trying to get into makeup and get ready, get prepped for the day to do what you're doing. Kids at the time, they were in school. So the only way I could put it was to have someone I trusted come in before I went out to get them ready for school. I have a very small but very tight-knit network of I don't call them staff anymore. They're family. My PA, my nanny, who has been with me since my last daughter, who is turning 16, was like 3, 4, 5. These are people who have been in and around my life for well over 15 years. My assistant, Victor Nwalha, and a few close friends that one can depend on to be there when the chips are down. But you have to have a network of friends. You have to have a network of trustworthy people, family and friends that
that you can surround yourself with.
There. Absolutely. I had an assistant that was so wonderful at the time. She's doing her own thing now. Her name was Buki, who literally ran the house, while I was away. And away sometimes could mean outside Lagos. Do you understand? So there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into being a professional actor. You will not always be there. You're going to miss some important occasions. I'm just hoping that the people who are in your life will love you enough to understand, that it's not because you don't care, but that's just the name of the game. It's the nature of the beast. Yeah.
If you summarize 25 years in words, what would it be like? The last 25 years.
It's been an adventure and a blessing. I've had a wonderful run. I will seize this opportunity to say again that I am a recipient of grace, and my career has been designed by someone bigger than me, because let's be honest, you're not the most talented, you're not the most beautiful out there, but I look back and I say to myself, you've been pretty lucky, girl. You've never been without a gig. You've never been without a good gig.